Okay, let's saddle up, get going. So today's episode is going to be a slight departure. I'm going to talk about AI, like everybody else right now.
Keep this frequency clear.
I started to learn Midjourney and DALL-E a couple of months ago so that I could create imagery to support the branding of Go Chateau. What I realized quite quickly is I became obsessed with it. And I would stay up all day, all night, just making stuff, turning out so much cool stuff, is that not only was I getting really good results from it, I was able to put myself into these magical worlds that I was creating and really not only see it, but feel it. Like I started to actually feel like I was there living the life that I'm sculpting for myself, that I'm about creating for myself. And I'm someone who is always looking for tools to help me unlock my subconscious mind, to help me take what I have in my imagination and turn my dreams and turn it into a reality. I'm doing astrocartography, I'm doing human design. I listen to Tony Robbins, Abraham Hicks, you name it. So now with these tools, these AI tools, I'm able to create these incredible images and magic and then put myself in it. So what I thought I could do is, I think that those of you who are following along with me creating my dream life also have dreams of your own. And if maybe this can inspire you to utilize the tools out there to create dream and vision boards that actually have you in them, in the clothes you want to wear, in the place you want to be, in a car you want to drive, in the house you want to live in the kitchen you want to cook in, and with the people that you want to meet. So cool. So, all right, let's go. By the way, this is not a tutorial. I am in no way qualified yet, anyway, to teach this. I just wanted to show you how I'm utilizing some of the tools and just kind of show you what I'm doing and map it out a little bit so maybe it just inspires you. Shall we? Let's go.
Keep this frequency clear.
What I was trying to create with the Go Chateau branding. So at first, I have an overall retro vibe for Go Chateau. There's like all kinds of reasons for that. I like the illustrative things. I like stuff that feels a little two-dimensional, a little pop art, but with a spin. So I was looking for an illustration, and I put the prompt into Midjourney that I wanted a two-dimensional pop art of a woman swinging on a chandelier in a chateau. I had a couple of failed attempts at this. Then this came in, but I was like, okay, there's something here that I can work with. So I put it into Canva. I was able to remove the background. Pretty clean, perfect, but whatever. I didn't like the shoes. The coloring was a little bit off. So then I started to think, what is the environment I'd like to have me in? And so I started to generate these illustrations of chateau, colorful pop art ballrooms. And I liked that. Cut it out in Canva, and then I put it over the top of it, and too busy, too messy. And then I saw the hand. I was like, it would be cool if she was holding, if I was holding a key. Granted, this is a much younger version of me. Okay, this is the idealized version. Everyone tries to make themselves look better in AI. That's just how we roll. I did some prompt about having a skeleton key with the initials GG in it. Did a bunch of rounds of that. And literally it takes seconds to do this. And you can do variations and variations and variations until you get what you want. And I thought this one was pretty cool. So I was able to cut that out too and then put it in my hand. So I changed out the boots here. And then I just started to play with this because I like this as a logo element. These are all done in DALL-E, which is ChatGPT 4, also paid, totally worth it. And then I put abandoned chateau with a bunch of pink luggage. I put petite chateau in the style of Wes Anderson. And then the other thing I started to play with is how am I going to bring my Americanism into Chateau? How am I going to merge these worlds on the visual side? So I said, let's create a table full of Jell-O desserts. And I did a bunch of these. And then I had a Jell-O G created. And then this one is one of my favorites. It's like a romantic table for two on a balcony looking toward an abandoned chateau with McDonald's fast food set on the table. And I just think it's fantastic. It's like Big Macs and plates of French fries, some sort of ketchup on there, and a milkshake. Everything's slightly weird in different sizes. I love that. Taco Bell. I don't even think they have Taco Bell in France, but it's my absolute favorite fast food. And so it did all the flowers in purple and gold Taco Bell colors. This one I said Fiesta with piñatas and guacamole and salsa and tacos and enchiladas and an abandoned French chateau. This is the very weirdly proportioned Thanksgiving Day dinner. Okay, hilarious, but I mean, come on. So then I started to think, how wild and fun and kooky not only my decor will probably be, but my exuberance for doing this. And so like jumping on furniture and being a little bit wild, but definitely still with the retro vibe. What kind of people are going to be guests at the chateau and what kind of events are we going to host? And so I think fairytale princess parties with a retro feel, tea parties. And then I've got a bunch of stuff with little girl tea parties and older women tea parties and dress up, Renaissance festivals. It'll be so fun. And then I had a Tupperware party with retro women. Now, if you look closely on the faces, not great on the faces, but the vibe is there. This one's great too. Okay, their faces are a little jacked. I said they were having an Avon lady makeup party. Like makeup and Tupperware. Oh God. And then this was awesome too. I said, sort of a rock and roll vibe. And so they put a guitar in her hand and I kind of love it. Also mangled faces, but really good hairdos. And it's Tupperware again. Okay. And this was killer. I was trying to get sort of a piece of cover art in a way that represented what it feels like to go from one world into another, like going through a portal. And I wanted it in the shape of old-fashioned keyhole, but to have some really beautiful detail in what might be the wood or a book, whatever. And what it does is it interprets what you write and it comes up with these kind of fantastic things. So the prompt was, a woman wearing a groovy 70s well-fitted suit with flared legs and walking from one world into another toward an abandoned chateau through a formal garden. And this is what it created. It's so cool. It's so cool. So this is the Explore page where you can go in and see images created by other people all over the world and get inspiration and even recreate some things. So I have an archive of things that I have liked that I wanted to go back to. I'm working on something with retro TV right now. And there's always stuff that's vintage vibes, mopeds and retro stuff. And then I use these as inspiration to create my own versions. I'm going to pick out one of these things and recreate it. Let's do this guy. I think these guys are cool. I can see how this might work with guests of GoGo Chateau. So in here, I'll just click image, style, and the prompts. A stylish man and woman standing and holding a big vintage TV in the middle center, black, gold theme, environment, symmetrical, yada, yada. Wes Anderson again. A lot of Wes Anderson prompts in here. And this says your kind of film you're shooting. This is the aspect ratio, and that means the size. And then the stylization you can do in various ways. So here are the aspect ratio. Let's say I wanted to make this 9:16. Oh, it already is. I didn't want to override that. And I'm trying some different stylization. This one's stylized at 250, but I'm going to do 500 and see what it comes up with. It might be different. And this is the model, which is the current mode of Midjourney, which is version 6. And raw is more photographic, photoreal. All right, we're going to do it. You just enter, and then over here, it'll start creating it. You can see I've been playing with this vintage TV vibe because I'm going to use that for my website and put my YouTube channel thumbnails in the various TVs on the website and use them for social ads and things like that. So it's making the images here. It always makes 4 of them. And then you get to pick which one you like and you can adjust it. And then if you want to put your face on it, then you move it back to Discord and do a face swap with another third-party app. Then you got yourself on it. It's pretty cool. So from that one prompt that guy did, recreated them. Very, very similar, right? So then what happens is you upload the images that you've created, and then you take them into Canva, and you can do things in Canva and just make presentations like to create as a wallpaper for your screen. So this is the one I'm working on now. It is, I'd say, probably 60% done. These are some belt buckles that were created, all those images that I was talking about, me swinging on the chandelier. I've created a whole line of champagne bottles, GoGo Chateau jewelry, little bits and bobs of all those turtles and sunflower fields and groovy glasses and keys and walking through portals. And I'm going to finish this. Let's do the background. So cool. Totally would wear that belt buckle. You get the idea here. So then what I'll do, once I get this in a position I dig, then I will make a wallpaper for my laptop. And every time I turn on my computer, I will see it. I will see the whole world that I created. It's good, right? Good idea. It's good. All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm feeling it. I'll go in and tweak the crap out of it, but I'm feeling that. There's too much pink around the top. I gotta finesse this even more, but you get the idea, right? If you looked at this on your desktop every day of the life that you're trying to create, you'd be inspired. You'd be inspired. I hope you're inspired.
Keep this frequency clear.
Okie dokie. So if you'd like to go deeper on this subject, I can't recommend highly enough the Secret AI Society that I am in, that I joined a couple of months ago. I'm going to put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. She's got a free beta program that can sort of give you a feel for what it might be like. And then if you want to join the community, it's a pretty spectacular group of people. And the technology is changing so rapidly that they keep updating everything all the time. And there's a lot of live components to it. It's not just learn it by pre-recorded lessons, although there's plenty of that too. But there's a ton of stuff, and every new AI tool that comes out, they talk about. All I can tell you is I love it. Obsessed. Bye-bye.